Okay, so I just pressed record and it is beeping red, so we are recording. This is the Be the Light meditation that we do every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. So welcome if it's your first time. We actually have a whole library of them listed on my website, Sound and Light Healing Arts, Wednesday AM meditations. And we pick a different topic. And today's topic, it just came to me, the words just came to me, and it was prioritizing. Prioritization. I don't even know how to say that. But I think it's very important because we're kind of at the end of the year of so much change that the first 6 months of the pandemic and staying home and changing the way you interact, we were in shock. We were in base chakra. Will I be safe? The grief that came with not connecting with people and our loved ones, and then the exhaustion of being on Zoom all day. There's so many elements that, looking back, we will say that's something obviously we signed up for as a collective, but you personally weren't planning for it. So there's been so many shifts and shocks. And I find myself, I'm in such a rhythm now with the virus and staying home and protection that I have some semblance, again, of balance and order. And I have been prioritizing, there's that word, in a natural sense of, well, gee, I want to see my grandchild, so I need to do FaceTime. I need to schedule things in. So we've been using our instincts, but today we're going to focus on, now we know what we're dealing with. We have the next 6 months as a picture of more limitation of movement and going back to jobs and out to restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. So how can we most wisely use 6 months of essentially the gift in the whole thing is the quiet time, and the time to meditate and become more of who you really are and were meant to be and have always wanted to be, but you're too busy. You're too busy. So all those things, all those distractions and wonderful things that life are made of, are now just dissolving and pulled away. So here, what are we, 9 months into the pandemic already? It feels like Groundhog Day every day. We can assess, am I in a better place health-wise? Am I getting my exercise, my stress reduction? Have I begun any new health eating regimes, cooking regimes, changing my refrigerator routine? It's actually a choice of to slide into comfort foods and be less healthy, or to rev up into vitality. So no matter what you've chosen, there's no right or wrong. You're obviously going to suffer or appreciate natural consequences no matter what you've been doing, or maybe staying the same. But if we are prioritizing for the next 6 months and using our time wisely and setting some goals and making some promises to ourselves in our unconscious, and that's why I'm bringing this up. In the Be the Light process, we work deeply with our unconscious to take away old patterns, resistances, and to call in the higher realms on our own higher self to help us stay on track. So I brought up the food choices, but how about friendship, socialization? Has anything kind of run its course with people and you feel like you're on automatic with those relationships? Is there some person or situation or group that's kind of dangling out there that feels like it has something to offer you that you can move towards? New ways of creating abundance and resources. And of course, that's so many choices. I won't even begin on that topic. But before we begin the meditation, it's always good we're setting our intention to prioritize the next 6 months so that we end up being in a better place. When I say better, higher vibration, more clarity, more joyful, feeling good, like getting out of bed in the morning, more personal freedom, joyful relationships. So those are the outcomes of the priorities that you are either doing just in random choice, or today having the choice of using that sharp mind of yours. We probably all have gone to some college, right? Have degrees, to put down in our heart, maybe even after the meditation, write them down. My priority, we have a new year coming up, even better. And we have a holiday, cold, where you drop in and you contemplate what is the mystery of a sacred divine visitor on earth, and how am I personally part of that story? And those of you that have worked with me for a while know we are part of this Christed consciousness arriving on earth. And the whole Jesus story and all that, but all religions have different stories, but the second coming is you holding a very high vibration and meeting other people with high vibrations and deciding and prioritizing to set some new goals for activity on earth for people. Okay, so maybe you've been thinking, yeah, gosh, the next 6 months I really could clean up my property, clean up my house, do yoga, get resilient, learn to breathe deep, learn to be centered every moment, learn to reach out and be loving to other people. If you want more love, reach out and extend your gifts and love to other people. Maybe you want to set better boundaries, and you can watch yourself, witness yourself. So I'm giving you some ideas, but I'm sure you probably already got something, because it's related to what you're wishing for or what's bugging you. That's usually right there. I call it the plate du jour, is the issue du jour. So there's something right on your plate, kind of naggingly wanting some attention. So prioritizing your approach and your action list helps you actually accomplish it. More self-esteem, more energy, more joy to do more, because you feel what? You feel in control. You feel free to do what you want and to create. And that begets more. Good begets more good. Okay, so let's begin the meditation. And again, when I do these meditations, I don't know exactly where we're going. I get the theme. We're going to drop in together. And actually, your higher selves are going to script the words and the pictures that I use. So it's a surprise for me as well, what we co-create on these meditations. So go ahead and get very comfortable and make sure that your spine is straight, because that's the way to access and be open for energy alignments and downloads and attunements. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Excellent. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place a beautiful hold-on of balance around our entire body. Only energies of the highest light are in this space now. We set a beautiful tent and remove everyone else's energy. Okay? Speaking of energy, there's a little noise coming through my room here, and I'm going to just make a quick check. So go ahead and continue. So when you are in this sacred space, it's a geometric structure we've talked about, big, huge, like an octahedron, triangular looking thing, and you are floating in the middle, and we ask that you remove everyone else's energies so that you're free and you feel like you're floating. Everyone else's thoughts and ideas. And now we release even your thoughts so that your mind is coming to a very, very peaceful, still point. Right in the middle of your head, imagine there's a little P in there, and that is your antenna system. What's the shape of a P? And it is coming to a place of no charge, flatlining of the 0 point. We ask that all the 0 point grids in your body come to complete alignment now. So you are floating in this sacred space, very balanced and empty. We call in our spirit guides, and we allow for our oversoul divine self to be present here with us now. So we feel protected and anchored while we are thoughtless, while we are just simply present. We're allowing our physical body to be free of mind chatter. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We are contemplating the next 6 months. Take your attention to your heart. You have the opportunity to turn the radio dial. Imagine you've been living in one station, one thought field, one place, one home, one set of relationships, one pattern of eating. And imagine that your heart is deciding to change the station on all the items, or 1 or 2 or 3. You are going to use your human choice to decide in this moment, what area of your life would you like to shift the dial on? And just let it come into you in a few words. For instance, have more good friends who are conscious. Feel more grounded in my clean, sparkly, sacred home. Receive more abundance from the universe. Those are just examples. You're going to have your own. So in your heart, imagine that your higher self is beginning to move the dial from one frequency band of experience in your area du jour and begin to move that dial. Take a nice deep breath and notice how your cells are starting to respond simply to that one simple prompt. And there is a flush of excitement, of change, something new to be experienced. Your higher etheric self always knows your highest good. So you have just downloaded a message into your heart, imagining it's a radio dial, and you are getting the message, and now your physical body is responding to this new messaging. Because truly, there's different aspects of your field, but you are one. It's a oneness. There usually is a director that is in fear and reactive and living on the earth script. And you're taking charge now. You are prioritizing, that you are choosing to dial in this one area of your life. Now, we ask that the divine beings around us help us breathe this in. Nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. And your stomach is relaxing and getting the message. Yes, it is this easy. Change direction. So we are going to commune with potential futures that you can see and envision and enjoy and imagine. Again, this is not from our mind, it is from our heart. So we asked again that all the 0 points in our body that match up perfectly with the earth grid, the galactic and universal grid, that beautiful lacy-like firmament of all that is, and we simply open our crown chakra and we ask that the projectionist, the creator who sees and knows you so intimately, so profoundly, that we are asking that the creator drop some beautiful new potentialities in related to our ask. So as you are watching these movies, you are noticing the sensations in your body, and you are allowing, and you are saying yes. And even if it's just feelings that are coming, or colors, or soft shapes of other people coming in this next few minutes, just receive. You are moving towards more joy, and you are embodying these potentialities. You are prioritizing that this is the new reality, and we ask and intend that we override the old patterning and choices with the exact activities, phone calls, thoughts, and emotions that support this new trajectory that you are asking for, and now you're imagining and receiving feelings and images. We ask and intend that we automatically and naturally are able to prioritize the steps to begin this new path with excitement, anticipation, and the energy. Joyfully dive in. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. So we ask to open our ears within our heart. We ask that we hear the steps. We would like to prioritize. What is the first step? Just receive the answer. The first step is the most important because you are on the path. You have momentum, direction. You have released other potential paths, and the energy is focusing as you prioritize. What is the next step? Just allow yourself to feel and hear what is next for you. Imagine that the earth, the galaxy, and the universe, everything is conspiring to put magic, sparkly dust on your path as you are moving forward. And you feel so light. It feels so easy to make these redirections and changes. And you are imagining the sequential steps as you are prioritizing first in your unconscious, and then allowing the next steps to come in effortlessly to your conscious mind. You are setting up this system that is seamless, reliable, and exciting. So in a moment, we're going to come back into a regular awakened consciousness, and I'll turn off the recording. This is the end of our process for today. And if you'd like, you can stay and talk or ask questions, or get a pen and a piece of paper and a pen and write down some of these things that you've received while they're still fresh in your mind. Good. And then in your meditation tomorrow, I know you're meditating every day, I ask and intend to set a sacred space. What is the next perfect step as I prioritize my path and set my direction for my highest good? The next step is, and then you write it down in your journal. Sometimes it'll come from your head, sometimes your heart, sometimes a best friend will reflect. So it doesn't always just have to be a voice. There's many ways that spirit works through the whole infrastructure to support you to get where ultimately we're all going to end up home, fully embodied, highest frequency in a earth that is holding beings who represent divine principles on earth. And that's why we do these meditations. Okay, so I'm going to turn the recording off.